I don't remember exactly when it happened or whether it was intentional, but at some point I stopped watching Disney Pixar movies. I just decided to stop showing up to get disappointed. Every once in a while I hear news about Toy Story 13 or Moana 6, sequels that coax you into theaters by displaying hints of the same magic you felt from the originals. Or I hear about a promising original animation that has to be worth watching because remember when Disney made those really good original animations? Except this new one, yeah, it's not so good and everybody is mad about it. Also, more sequels to come, forever. But I'm out. I'm free. Living like J. Cole. Because I looked elsewhere, and I found 10 non-Disney animated movies by 10 non-Disney studios that are really, really good. The Swan Princess is about as Disney as it gets. The beautiful Princess Odette is turned into a swan by an evil sorcerer with a grudge against her father and held captive at a magic lake. If her idiot boyfriend, the Prince Derek, doesn't figure out it's her in time and declare his true everlasting love, she will die. The art in this movie is gorgeous. As for music, Far Longer Than Forever is going to be stuck in my head for a while. My favorite thing about The Swan Princess, though, is all the quotable moments.
Is beauty all that matters to you?
What else is there?
If you're like me and feel a weird mixture of dread and fondness for the vastly superior adaptation Barbie of Swan Lake, I recommend you give The Swan Princess a try. Balto is a half-dog, half-wolf, an outcast with only an old Russian goose to call family, but when the children in Nome, Alaska become deathly ill, he risks everything to get the medicine that will save them. As someone who's biracial, Balto feeling so lost about who he is because he only knows what he isn't really hits home. Produced by Steven Spielberg's animation studio before its closure in 1997, Balto has the emotional impact and pacing of a Steven Spielberg movie. If you're looking for a non-musical animated classic that's a little lighter on the romance and heavier on action, this is the one to watch. Just make sure not to watch any of the sequels. When I first saw the poster for this movie, I thought, well, this looks like a weird knockoff, but I couldn't have been more wrong. About the knockoff part anyways. A Monster in Paris has a wild sci-fi premise of a 7-foot-tall flea with the voice of an angel, but really is a story led by its characters. An aspiring filmmaker, his fast-talking best friend, a kind-hearted singer, a corrupt commissioner, a suspiciously intelligent monkey. A Monster in Paris is about them as much as it is about, well, a monster in Paris. The pacing doesn't hold your hand, the writing doesn't insult your intelligence, and the music is amazing and memorable. I really think this movie is something special, which makes it perfect for this list. Anya is an orphan who remembers her name, but nothing of her childhood or where she came from. Anastasia Romanov is a princess, well, technically Grand Duchess, who went missing long ago when the evil sorcerer Rasputin put a curse on her entire family. Rasputin? Rasputin. Thing is, there's a huge reward out for anyone who finds the missing girl by her grandmother, Empress Maria, who hopes she is still alive, and 2 con men decide Anya is their best chance. I have never seen a movie, live action or animated, where the 2 leads have this much romantic chemistry. I have also never seen a movie where a woman absolutely decks a guy in the face and he kinda deserves it, but I still really like the guy. Not only are all of Anastasia's characters, including the villain, infinitely more likable, but Anya's I Want song, Journey to the Past, alone is better than all of Wish. That's not even mentioning Once Upon a December. Belle might not be a movie for everyone, which I understand, but it's definitely my favorite movie on this list and something I will always recommend. It follows Suzu, a 17-year-old who lost her mother in a horrible accident when she was young and now finds little joy in day-to-day life. Music was something her and her mother did together, but without her, she barely feels like the same person anymore. When Suzu hears about a massively popular virtual world called You, she signs up hoping for an escape. In this alternate reality, she isn't Suzu, she's Belle, the beautiful pop star. Things are looking up for Belle, that is, until a mysterious dragon avatar crashes one of her concerts. The appearance of this edgelord changes everything, as her virtual existence doesn't turn out to be as much of an escape as she thought it would be. I'm trying to stay super vague because Belle goes out of its way to subvert all of your expectations. I find its central message to be incredibly profound and supported by the top-tier soundtrack. There are very few songs that can get me to cry on command, but A Million Miles Away is one of them. Every time I hear it, I think about people I've lost, how much I miss them, and how much they shaped who I am today. I love how cartoons can connect to people like that. Not done crying yet? No problem. Here's Song of the Sea. After their mother's disappearance, siblings Ben and Circe are sent away from their home by the ocean to live in the city. The brother and sister's relationship hasn't been the best for a while, but thanks to their mother, they have a shared love of Irish folklore. Ooh, one thing, that folklore, it's all real. Ben discovers Circe is a Selkie, and that he has to protect her from all kinds of mythological creatures that have taken notice, including an owl witch that literally bottles up emotions. The plot follows them both trying to find the way back home, while also learning how to deal with loss. Song of the Sea is really pretty to look at and has an addictive, melancholic vibe to it while also constantly making you smile. I've heard that the newest film by the same studio, Wolfwalkers, is even better, so I plan to watch that one next. I quickly discovered Cats Don't Dance has a cult following for a reason. It really just does whatever it wants. There's a great message for kids about never giving up on your dreams, a memorable, irredeemably evil villain, as well as a decent metaphor for racism in the film industry. The fourth wall-breaking sense of humor felt familiar, so I looked up the director, and it's the same guy who directed The Emperor's New Groove. So if you're looking for something kinda cheesy, kinda outlandish with an awesome soundtrack, I recommend Cats Don't Dance. Speaking of cats, let's talk about my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, The Cat Returns. Haru is a young girl with the ability to speak with and understand cats, and one day she saves a cat's life. Except it's not just any cat, it's Loon, Prince of the Cat Kingdom. Let's just say the hind-leg-walking residents of the Cat Kingdom get a tad over-enthusiastic in their gratitude, so Haru is forcefully stolen away into their realm to marry the prince. It's a whimsical, fast-paced fantasy adventure perfect for any cat person. If you love DreamWorks Animation's The Road to El Dorado or Disney's Treasure Planet, then check out Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. Sinbad has a bit of a complicated relationship with the Greek goddess of chaos, and so she frames him for stealing a sacred treasure, and his childhood best friend resolves to accept the death penalty in his place. Sinbad has to travel with his ship and pirate crew to the end of the world, clear his name, and save his friend's life. It has everything you could ever want. A love triangle, shirtless pirates, women. In the world of Ernest and Celestine, mice live underground while bears live in their cities above ground. The story follows two individuals who simply don't fit into the status quo. Everyone in Celestine's life is like, stop drawing pictures, you have to be a dentist. And everyone in Ernest's life is like, stop playing music, you have to be a judge. Also, stop robbing every store on the block, because God forbid men have hobbies. When Ernest and Celestine meet, they find they have a lot more in common than they think, and so they start a life of crime together. This movie's unique art style and music come together to form a moving storybook, and the characters are very lovable and relatable. So, have you seen any of these movies? If so, which is your favorite? Also, if you have any recommendations for me, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.